Assalamu alaikum. This is Councilmember Daneek Miller of the 27th Councilmatic District, representing Southeast Queens, in particular the Greater Jamaica area. Ramadan Mubarak once again, and it is a pleasure for me to be back here with you and really discuss some of the things that are going on and some of the city policies that are impacting our community and immigrant communities throughout the city. So one of the things that we worked on over the past few years collectively as a community, that was the Eid holidays for our New York City public school students, something that they have enjoyed for a year now. In fact, obviously next Monday, schools will be closed for the Eid holiday. And it's something that we are very proud of as a community, because it's something that we work collectively on. I just want to say also that being the lone Muslim member of the New York City Council, it requires advocacy from our community and our supporters. I need the support in order to create the public policy that impacts our community. It has occurred, but we have to continue to be vigilant about that. We also have to have allies in communities outside of our own community. And so and when we work in that manner, we are been able to do that. I would hope that the rest of New York State will follow suit on what we were able to do here in New York City. We pride ourselves in being a progressive city that and municipalities that values all of its citizens and all of its residents and treats it accordingly. And I would hope that we are leading the example for the New York State legislators to do the same thing, and that Governor Cuomo would sign such legislation into law, permitting the rest of New York State to be able to enjoy the Eid holidays as our young students have the opportunity to do so here today. And there are, there are hundreds of thousands of young Muslim students that attend schools here in the city and don't have access to the halal meals. And so we are working diligently on that as well. We have legislation in the city council, and I'm working with my colleagues to gather up the support. And again, once again, I would implore the community to be supportive, and those who live outside of the 27th district to speak to their council members and make sure that they're supporting the right to for the halal meals. Also involved in that will be kosher meals, and so we have brought our allies in to strengthen our voice and say that all of our scholars need to be nourished, need to be prepared to be educated, and a big part of that is ensuring that they have proper nutrition and that they are ready and able to begin their studies. And so what's important is if they have a good meal before they start their day and during their day, and this legislation would provide for that. Again, we would require the advocacy of many of you out there to be helpful in doing so. There is a question about our graduate students being required to have a second language. And so as we move forward with that, obviously that is something that we are training our young people, but not yet any requirement as of yet. And then the state standards will come out. And certainly we want to make sure that those languages that are taught in the school are consistent with the demographics and the populations of the city of New York. Here, at least in the city of New York, and I know here in Southeast Queens, where we have a large South Asian community, and that those languages are reflected of those communities. It is very, very important, and all that we try to do is in this community is to embrace the diversity of our community, because therein lies our greatness. And so we want our schools to be a microcosm of the community and be able to provide language access for all of our students, in particular those who are from our rising South Asian population. So, those are the things that happen. Those are the positive things that happen within our mosaic and our melting pot here. But in the interim, there are some things that we have to address. The things that we have to address is the irresponsible rhetoric and incitatory rhetoric that occurs from public figures, political leaders, and others. Myself and others as a leader, I say day in and day out that words have consequences and that you must choose your words carefully. That people, as a leader, you are responsible for what you say. People hinge on your words and they turn those words into action. Often what we're seeing now from the negative rhetoric that often coming out of Washington and places alike that incite violence, incite hate, incite some of the hateful actions that you are seeing perpetrated throughout the country on the Muslim community, on communities of color, on immigrant communities. And so if I could say anything from my own experience, knowing that words has consequences, I would implore all my colleagues in government, all folks who call themselves leaders, that you have a responsibility for your actions and your words have actions. Treat them accordingly. And before you speak those words, and where hate crimes exist, we have to come together and say that we value all of our city, we value all of our community, that everyone in our community has an equal voice and an equal say at the table, regardless of their faith, regardless of their place of origin and ethnicity, that we value everyone, and that there is accountability. If you disrespect, undermine, or devalue folks from this community, that there will be consequences there. And if hate crimes are perpetrated on members of our community, we expect that people who perpetrate those crimes will be arrested and dealt with to the fullest extent of the law. Anything else is unacceptable. Islam is peace, means peace. We have demonstrated that time and time again. So we do not expect to be the victims of a hate crime. We are not the perpetrators of that crime. The community and world to know that we are here to use our faith to uplift humanity. In particular, during Ramadan, we want to embrace our entire community and want you to get to know who we are. And that hate crimes are certainly unacceptable. So we don't want our communities to fall victim to them, and certainly our young people. We want, as we prepare the next generation of leaders from our community, we want to make sure that they are safe, that they can assume that role of leadership, that they have that opportunity. And so we are training them in a number of different ways and preparing them from, first off, from their school experiences, whether it's bullying, it's hate crimes. We are addressing that with our young people. There are programs out there. If anyone needs assistance on that, please reach out to our office or the City Council. My office is 718-776-3700. And you can reach us at those two numbers. There are programming available. We will have someone come out to the schools, to the communities, to the mosques, and really train the young people as to how to address these issues. As we move forward with training them to assume their futures as tomorrow leaders. So that is very important, some of the things that we have been doing up until this point. And I am excited about the support that we've had over the last 4 years. We've done a lot of things to uplift the Muslim community, to uplift the South Asian community, to bring them into the fold and into the mix, and understand and have the folks of New York City understand that these communities are an integral part of the fabric of New York City. The mosaic that makes us great is our diversity. We have certainly embraced that. I am looking forward to continuing to serve you for the next 4 years. The community has been very, very supportive of my mission and vision, our mission and vision as a community, as a city. I ask that you continue to be supportive. Your help is imperative that we move forward in doing so many things, and also in being that that example for the next generation of leadership. So I am proud, honored, alhamdulillah, that I have been favored with the opportunity to serve you, and look forward to serving you for another 4 years. Assalamu alaikum.
ITV, Call of Peace, Save Humanity.